Hi, grade 12 student. So in today's video, I want to give you additional question that I didn't do on the previous videos. So please make sure that you watch until the end. So in this video, we're going to discuss about a cost accounting. Okay, so in this question paper, guys, it was containing 55 marks. That was a lot. Okay, let's quickly go and start with our question. 2.1. Indicate whether the following statements are true or false and write only true or false next to the question. Okay. 2.1.1. Carriage paid on raw material purchase increase the cost of direct material issued to the production. Yes, it's true, guys, because remember, a transport is form part of what? Of a cost. We add it. Okay. Number 2, advertising is part of factory overhead cost. No, guys, it's false. Advertising is related to selling and distribution. Commission to sales staff is part of administration cost. No, it's related to selling and distribution. Commission is not related to admin. Admin is in the office, where there is a managers. Anything that is not related to a sales and the factory. Delivery expense is part of sales and distribution. Delivery expense is part of sales and distribution. Yes, true. If you are delivering to customer, which means that is related to a sales, is true. Okay, now let's go to the main question. CV manufacture. You are provided with the information from the record of CV manufacture for the year ended 28 February 2023. They manufacture one type of school bag. Okay, required. 2.2.1. Calculate the direct labor cost. 8 marks. Calculate the factory overhead cost. 15 marks. Prepare production cost statement. 8 marks. That's what we are going to do. Okay. Even though on the answer book, let me write now before I forgot. In the answer book, guys, we were given this amount, 3,150,000. There was no marks allocated, and work in progress at the beginning, because they know that you guys are just gonna copy and paste it. It was given. Okay. Now let's start. At the first question, they say that we have to calculate the direct labor cost. Okay, let's look at the information that is related to direct labor cost and start answering our question. Okay, information number A is related to opening balances and closing balances, and you know that direct labor cost does not have opening or closing. Okay, number B, labor cost of production. That's where we are going to get information. Okay, they say the number of employees are 14 and basic monthly salary per factory workers, they earn 10,500 every month. Remember, here we are calculating annually. So if you are given monthly, you know what to do. Okay, let's start with a basic salary. A basic salary. We have how many employees? There are 14, and we have to multiply by amount of monthly, which is 10,500. Okay, remember, this is going to give you a monthly amount. In order to avoid that, you have to multiply by 12 so that you can get annually. Okay, annually amount is going to be 1,764,000. Okay, and the next one, we have to calculate overtime. They say that the total overtime hours for the year, it was 3,100. 3,100 is for the year. No need to multiply by 12. Okay, so we're going to say overtime 3,100, and we check the rate. The rate for overtime, they say that is 80 rand per hour. We have to multiply so that we can get the figure. And it's going to give you 248,000. Okay. Then the next one, guys, remember, here we are calculating labor cost, not net salary. So don't try to deduct any deduction. You only include contribution, not deduction. Okay, we have a UIF deduction, which we are not going to deduct, and we also have contribution, which we are going to add. Okay. So they say that employers' contribution to UIF is rent for rent basis. In other words, if the employee pay 1%, even employer is going to pay 1% because they pay the same RR. Okay, so it's 1%. UIF contribution, they say that it's 1% of basic. Basic is 1,764,000 multiplied by 1%. It's gonna give you the amount of 17,640. Okay, after that now you can calculate the total of 2,029,064. That's how you calculate it, guys. Always remember, direct labor include all contribution, a basic, as well as what? Overtime or any commission if there was a commission. Okay. The next one, even bonuses, they must be included. The next one, we have to calculate effective overhead cost. Before maybe we go to factory overhead cost, this total, remember guys, we are going to transfer it to our production cost statement. Direct labor is 2,029,640. Now we can calculate the prime cost. You just add these two and you're gonna get an amount of 5,179,640. That's how you must write it, guys. You must not wait to complete this one in order to fill up here. Already you have answers for this, which means that you can even shift. Okay, when you write, guys, accounting, if you are doing a balance sheet, for example, it doesn't mean that you have to complete assets section first before you go to the liability. You can even go to the liability if you find the easy transition that you just realize that this one you can just quickly record it under a liability. Don't do in order where it's not necessary, né? Unless it is necessary, but in this case it was not. Okay, now let's calculate factory overhead cost. Firstly, we have to check under our opening balances. We have indirect factory material. Yes, and you know that we start with opening, which is 19,800 plus purchase. We have a purchase under number D. Indirect material for factory value of 57,600 were bought during the financial year. We're gonna add 57,600 and we subtract what? A closing. A closing is 22,650. Very simple. Okay, and it's gonna give you how much? 54,750. Very simple. Okay, the other one before we move to this page, number C, the factory foreman in annual salary of 234,000, including all benefit. So in other words, everything has been included, which means that this is the final amount for factory foreman, and it's gonna be 234,000. Remember, guys, under factory overheads, you only include all indirect cost, indirect material, indirect labor, anything that was indirect but they were part of factory, they form part of this. If you find depreciation for fridge that was used in the office, it's not part of factory, guys. It's part of what? Admin. Here we only include anything that is related to factory but which is indirect, because the direct are calculated separate. Okay, now the next one, we have to go to information number E. Okay, they say that expenses extracted from the trial balance on 28 February 2023 are as follow. We have a rent expense, depreciation on factory equipment, water and electricity, and insurance. But we must not just calculate. We must read instruction first, because This rent expense, probably there might be other part that was used in the office, so we have to read, are just to be taken into account. Rent expense must be allocated according to the floor space occupied as follow. Floor space for factory is 900 meters square, which means that it's gonna be where is it? 172,800. What we want is for factory, and factory they said is 900 meters square, and we divide by the total. Factory, sales department, and admin. The total is 2250. 2250. Guys, I know there will have some students that they love to take chances. Don't try to put your mathematics formulas here, because some of you are going to try to attempt to include meter square on this calculation. Guys, you are wasting your time. No need to put this. Just divide 900 by 2250. This is not mathematics, this is accounting. Okay, now you have to calculate this, and you will get the amount of 69,120. Okay, then underwater and electricity, we were given 156,000, which we have to do what? Which we have to adjust according to instruction. Instruction said that water and electricity usage must be as follow. Factory use 90%, sales department 5%, admin 5%. In total, it was 100%. What we are looking for is factory, which is 90%. Okay. Then it will give you 140,400. Then insurance. Insurance, they say that a payment of 4,200 for insurance for 2 February did not go through, and due to system failure, it will be paid in March. There is an accrued expense which must be added first before you allocate. Insurance, it was a 107,100. Remember, we use the same principle that we do in under income statement. We have to record for the whole year, for the 12 months, even if it's not paid. We have to add that amount of 4,200. Okay, and after that we allocate. They say that insurance must be divided into the ratio of 3:2 between the factory, sales, and the admin department respectively. This simply means that our factory is 3 because it's the first one, and the total 3 plus 2 plus 2 is 7. Okay, you must get answer first here, and you multiply by this. Then it will simply give you 47,700. Okay, and for depreciation, guys, there was no transaction because number F is related to direct material which was given. There was no marks, sales of finished goods, and so on and so on. So depreciation, we're just gonna copy because they said depreciation is on factory equipment, which means that it's for factory. No need to allocate anything. 415, 830. Simple. And after that, let me give a space here. 415, 830. Then we can get a space for total. Okay, if you calculate the total, guys, you are going to get 961,800. Okay, now because we got total here, factory overheads now have answer. We just have to transfer 961,800. Okay, now let's proceed. Because we already got the answer for factory, now we can get a total manufacturing, which is prime cost plus factory, which is going to give us 6,141,440. Very simple. Okay, balance at the beginning, we have it. Now we're left with these two. But in order to get it, guys, we have to calculate subtotal here, which does not have a name. Because somewhere, somehow, we're going to calculate something as a balancing figure here. So this subtotal, guys, is 6,382,000. Okay, and now we are looking for work in progress at the end does not have amount and it's a negative, but we can get cost of finished goods, guys, using the last information. Cost of sales of finished goods is 6,022,500. Guys, that amount is not final amount here. This one is a cost of sales. You must reverse it back to what? To cost of finished goods. How do we do that? It's very simple. Okay, let's work it here. In order to reverse it, guys, remember, cost of sales account is account after work in progress. This is the same as work in progress. So in order to reverse, you subtract what was added and you add back what was subtracted. You are going to do reversal of sign. Remember, opening balance, we add, closing balance, we subtract. Now when we reverse back this amount, we do the opposite. Okay, our cost of finished goods at the beginning, it was 165. It was added, which means that now we have to do what? To subtract. Our cost at the end, it was subtracted. Now we have to add it back to go back to what? To finish goods. We are doing reversal because if we are already in the, it's more like, guys, I was standing here. If I shift here, which means that if I want to go back, I just have to do a reverse like this, which means that I went back. That's what we are doing. Okay, the amount that we are given is from here. We want to shift it to here. Okay, what is the cost? Cost of sales was how much? It was 6,022,500. Now let's do the reversal. Okay, the reversal, opening balance, we are going to subtract minus 165,000 and we add back the closing 142,500. 142,500. Okay, and you're gonna get the cost of 6 million. Okay, this simply means that, guys, in order for us to get work in progress at the end, you have to calculate the difference between these two. This minus this is going to give you the closing of 382,000. It's negative. Closing is always negative here, guys. So that's how you apply this one. Very simple, guys. I hope you learn something. Please, let's make sure that we subscribe also to this channel. It's gonna help you a lot. So especially for those who are going to continue with accounting at university level. That's the reason why we did this channel, because we also want to record the videos for university levels so that you can also keep learning for free on YouTube. I'm gonna see you on the next one.